Hello viewer, welcome in our program Counsellor'S View, and today we'll be discussing about drug and substance abuse, and with the evolving of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have realized that there's a lot of rise of alcohol consumption. It's very high, whereby it has been rooted our children in a very great way, and also the general abuse of drugs. And in our Counsellor'S View, we'll be trying to explore a number of areas. One, the meaning of the word drug and substance abuse, and also the commonly abused drugs, and also the causes of drug and substance abuse. And also, we also look at the mitigation. How do we mitigate this kind of game of consuming alcohol anyhowly? And so, in our studio, I want to welcome our guests, and to begin with, we'll ask our chief guest, our counselor, Reverend JB. Say hi to the viewer.
Hi viewers, my name is Reverend JB Mwangi. I'm a counselor by profession, and also I'm a priest working in the Anglican Church of Kirinyaga. I have a center called Seed of Hope Counseling and Rehabilitation Center at the Fathers. And we do a lot of counseling there. We do a lot of rehabilitating, especially due to drug abuse. We have a lot of young men, old men, young women, old women who are brought to our place for rehabilitation and therapy and treatment.
Thank you very much. We also have our immediate, from my immediate left, this Counsellor Selmith. Say hi to the viewer.
Hello viewer, my name is Shelmith Jiro. I am a social worker and a counselor working with the Diocese of Kirinyaga at Otugi Children's Center. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And my immediate right, we have Counsellor Liz. Say hi to the viewer.
Hello viewer, my name is Lisa Gota. I work for ACK Diocese of Kirinyaga with the Mothers Union as the coordinator. I'm born again. I am a counselor by profession also. I have a counseling office in Embu, and we give general psychological counseling. Thank you.
Thank you. And I am Reverend Michael Gidinchi. I'm the hosting program, and I'm also a priest in the Diocese of Kirinyaga, Kiandangai Parish. Welcome in this very important discussion when we are trying to handle about drug and substance abuse. Now, Reverend JB, I want to begin with you. Now, can you tell us exactly what do we mean by drug abuse? What is this drug abuse? When you hear of drug abuse, what is this?
Okay, thank you, Reverend Michael. When we talk about drug abuse, let me first of all talk about what is a drug. Drugs are anything that you take inside your body and that interferes with the metabolism of the body systems. If you take a drug, it might be desired or it might not be desired by the body. So anything that you take inside, which is not actually in accordance or prescribed by a doctor, it's a drug. And there are three types of drugs. There is what we call positive drugs. Those are the drugs that we are given by doctors and we buy over the counters. Positive drugs that we take due to our diseases because we are sick. That is a positive drug. There is a negative drug that we take because of leisure. We want to go high, we want to feel good. That is a negative drugs. And the third category is the hard drug. The hard drug is the one that interferes with the brain. It actually abuses the brain. So when we are talking about drug abuse, we are talking about the modality of taking these drugs. Even the positive drug can become an abuse, can be abused. If you take it overdose or underdose in this context. If you are told to take 2 tablets, Panadol, 2 tablets, and then you feel that the pain is too much, and then you take 4 or 6 or 10, you are abusing drugs. If you take then the negative drugs, because of ratio, you want to feel high, you want to feel good, then you are abusing drugs. Because you are not taking as per prescribed by the doctor, you are just taking for your own sake. The third category of drug is hand drug, and the hand drug is very sensitive to the brain system. It affects the brain system. It affects the central nervous system. It affects the autonomic nervous system, which is the system from top to bottom. So these categories of drug can be taken and they can be abused. So when we are talking about drug abuse, we are talking about overdosing yourself with this kind of drugs.
Thank you very much. Just the bone your side,
Yeah.
the JB.
Yes.
Can you just tell us, mention a few drugs that are commonly abused
Yeah,
by our children?
It is true. There are very many drugs actually in the world, but the most commonly abused drugs in our localities, number one, it is cigarette. Cigarettes are abused by grown-ups, by young people. Number two is alcohol, which have become a very common phenomenon for most of our children are abusing alcohol, most of old men are abusing alcohol. It is common. When we talk about bang, it is also very common. Bang is now being sold even in the nearest shopping center. I mean the shop in your neighborhood. They are selling bang. It is there. The other one is kubel, which is actually very much highly abused by school children. The other one is, which is becoming rampant, and it looks like it is not a drug, but cat. When we talk about cat, and especially muguka, which is becoming very popular among the young boys of the school-going boys, the muguka, that is another problem and another drug that is coming very, very, very near to us. It is becoming like a source of money, but actually in the final analysis, you'll see the impact of it. The other one may be tobacco. That is an old thing that was there even in ages, but it is still commonly used by our young people and old people as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Viewer, you have realized that drug is anything that you take that can also be taken for healing purposes and also to feel high, for pleasure and what have you. You have also heard how the drug has been abused. And we have heard if you take an overdose, then whether it's for healing purposes, that is really abusing the drug. You have also heard about how you can, if you take this cigarette, you can also abuse it because sometimes you take for leisure and what have you. Now, I want to proceed. We think that in the light of COVID-19, the rate of consumption is so high, very high, because of the consequence lockdown. Now, Councillor Lisa, can you tell the viewer what are the real causes of this rise of consumption of alcohol and other drugs?
Thank you very much, Reverend Michael. It is true the incidences of alcohol and drug abuse and the related antisocial behavior have tremendously risen in this lockdown. People are at home. Children who are supposed to be in school are at home. Parents who have been working are at home. Casual laborers who used to wake up and go are at home, not doing a lot. So we have seen a tremendous rise. Even if you listen to the newspapers, if you listen to the media houses and read newspaper, you will realize this is true. One of the reasons we can say is the cause of the high rise is the availability of drugs. It is very serious to know that since the bars were closed, everyone knows consumption of alcohol especially has gone on the rise. Even the distributors are saying they've never sold alcohol as much as they have done this time. What is causing this? Online advertisements and home deliveries, something that was never that rampant, has become too high. On the internet, advertisement of alcohol, I can deliver it at home. So everyone can receive alcohol at beck and call of your house, of the comfort of your house. The other reason is parents are taking drugs at home culturally. If the bars are closed, what do? You go home and actually you go and buy alcohol and take it casually at home. So the kids that are at home,
take away home.
Yeah, takeaways. The kids that are at home will get access, or they will see the drugs and find it good to take. The other thing is the sale of unauthorized drugs all over. Reverend JB said they are all over in our kiosks, everywhere, wrapped in different ways, called in different names. Some names even look attractive. So during this lockdown, this thing has gone up. Then the anxiety, COVID-19, if you look at the statistics, it's rising every day. It's giving everyone stress and anxiety, and some of us even depression. What is your mechanism for mitigating or for alleviating your stress? Most people are running to drugs. Drugs are known to make you not afraid of what you should be afraid of. Scientifically, they are known to depress, some of them, the central nervous system. So if you are actually afraid and you take a drug, you don't feel afraid of it anymore. Then the idle time. Most of the students and people that were working, and even the former drug users, are at home. They've been trying to come up with mechanisms to keep themselves afloat, and they are not working. They've been tested to the end, and we are finding people now rushing to drugs. The other one, very important, is spiritual bankruptcy. Churches are closed. Our places of worship are closed down. And the places of worship is where we went and we found solace and we were comforted. We sang songs and worshipped God, and we went home feeling better. Today, many people are not even able to worship on their own. And the best thing they can do is go to drugs. Finally, is an issue of ignorance and curiosity. Like I heard him talk about Muguka. People who come from Meru and Mira is almost a cultural thing. No one tells them it is harmful. They take it just as a casual way of passing time. Then the curiosity and the peer pressure. You've seen groups are going for parties, house parties and other things, and they are trying out different drugs. There are many, many others that we could talk about, but basically those are the major ones.
Thank you, Riza. Yes?
If you allow me, I want to add on what Riza have said. Very nice thing. Actually, these children are trying, or the users are trying to outsmart those who are ignorant about the drugs. So they call it different names, just to suit them. They communicate in a language that you might not understand. And this is where the parents are switched off. These youngsters can go and ask for, and they keep on changing names. You can hear like something like K27, 90, Relaxa, all these things, and they are changing, and actually they are asking for drugs that you might not be suspicious about.
Oh. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rajev. Thank you, Riza. Thank you, Shaumit. Thank you very much. We have just realized that there are causes, availability of those drugs, the unrest, the errors of the same, this lockdown, and even the curiosity. Remember what he said, the curiosity killed the cat. So the viewer, you can realize that there are those already causes that are there, that are put in place by the situations, and that's why our young people are taking drugs in great number. We need to go for a short break so that we may come back, and then our cure, Counsellor Cure, will be now addressed about the mitigation. How do we stop it? How do we minimize the consumption of alcohol by our both old and young people? Again, Reverend Michael, the hosting program, Counsellor's View, will be back in a short while. Thank you.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Blessings Insurance Agency offers you all types of insurance services, which include comprehensive third-party car insurance, fire, burglary and all risk covers, Work Injury Benefits Act policy waiver, professional indemnity, personal accident, among others. You should insure with us for low negotiated premiums, excess protector with our motor covers, excellent after-sales service, and good rapport with insurance companies. We are located at Oasis of Hope House, Kutus. For details and assistance, call us on 0722 007190 or 0721 887977 or visit our website www.ackkirinyaga.org or email us on mountkenyablessings@gmail.com. Blessings Insurance Company. Take care today to indemnify yourself in the event of an accident. We are licensed and regulated by Insurance Regulatory Authority.
Pillar TV, shaping your destiny.
Welcome, viewer, again in our topic. We were discussing about drug and substance abuse, and we have really trying to find out what it is and also the commonly abused drugs, and also the causes of the use of these drugs. And also, we'll be looking about the mitigation, the cure. Once again, Reverend Michael, the host program, Counsellor'S View, that comes always on Saturday. Now, we'll be asking ourselves, our counselor, Riza, now that we have heard the rise of these drug abuse, what are some of the mitigation? How can we do to prevent this kind of drug abuse, both to our young and old in our society?
Okay, thank you, Reverend Michael. In mitigation or otherwise, in trying to prevent the drug abuse, it might be quite difficult, but for all of us, it is good to try and see the things that we can do in order that we can really reduce the drug abuse in our communities, in our families, among our children, and in the whole society. And one of the things that maybe we can look at is the creating of awareness among the drug users and among our children, among our families, and the society. Creating awareness because of the predisposing causes of the drug use. You can see, you find out that most of our people or the drug users, if you ask them if they know the predisposing causes or the effects of the drugs that they use, most of them will tell you that they don't know, which is very true. They may not know what effect are they taking into their bodies, especially health-wise. So it is good as a society, we create awareness among our people, among the drug users, so that even they themselves can really be in a position to come out of using the drugs. The other thing is within our families, that we try to solve our problems in the families amicably, Reverend Michael, so that with our children or our young adults or even the parents will not turn to drugs because of the problems or the challenges that they are facing within the family. And I can say the family is the best prevention. That is where we can really start preventing the drug use or the drug abuse. Because one, we can also enhance the communication between our children and the parents, between our young adults, because we have our young adults children who are married, they have wives. We can even enhance communication skills, even between the spouses. So at the level of the family, this is where we can really help in preventing the drug abuse. And even we can also enhance the bonding of the family. You see, when we are at the family level, the family bonding is very, very important. That togetherness, that coming together, that you are the support of the other person. If a parent is able to support a daughter or a son who is using the drugs, that would be very, very good. If a husband or the father can be able to support the children or the young adults, those who are into drugs, that will be very important. So let us very carefully look at the family level, which can really help us in supporting or in preventing the drug abuse. The other thing is the monitoring of the parents or the caregivers. It is very good to keep on monitoring our children. What are they doing? What are they taking? What are they talking? What are they sharing? If we can really monitor our children, especially at the home still, and especially still in the community. As we were saying before, our children, and before we used to say that because our African context, you raise children as a community. So we can also keep even monitoring the children who are around us, what they are doing, what are they taking, because that is the real issue. Because if we don't monitor our children, they won't do anything. They'll go anywhere. So when we monitor them and they know that we are really monitoring them as parents and the caretakers, we can really prevent or reduce the drug abuse. The other thing is for our society, our community, to try and let the drugs not be available within our community or within our vicinity. Because like now, there are drugs that are sold next door among the community members, among even the families. They know that they are being sold next door, but they just keep quiet. They are just quiet and they know what is happening. So it is also good to talk, and so that the drugs cannot be availed to our children or to the other people. Because you can see there are people who have kept places to be selling or to be trafficking the drugs. So it is easily available. So as a society, as the community, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to, if we know, let us talk. Let us even involve the administration and the rest of the opinion leaders so that we can help in curbing the drug abuse. The other thing is talking, counseling our children, counseling even the adults, like the husbands, the men in the community, the women in the community, because everybody is taking drugs. We can now, as counselors, as opinion leaders, as preachers, as pastors, church leaders, let us all be united in talking about the drug. Let us talk about it even in the pulpit when the churches come back and we start attending the churches, so that when we talk, we are really helping curbing the drug abuse. The other thing is trying to support the drug users. The drug users are people who are really hated. They are really despised. We look at them as if they are not even our brothers or our sons or our fathers. So we despise them. It is good, as we want them to come out of the drug abuse, it is good to support them, especially from the family level, in a loving way. Let us not even use abusive words towards them. Sometimes we call them dogs, we call them unwise, useless. All these ones we call them. And when they go to the places that they take these drugs, where they interact with the other drug users, they are motivated, they are given good words. They are called Sonko, Professor, Mkubwa. So when this person comes back home and you start calling him dog, useless, he will find that the best place to be in is where he's been called Sonko, is where he's been called Mkubwa. So you always find him, he's going back there. All the time he's going back there. So at the family level, as parents, as brothers and sisters of these people, let us support these people, loving them, so that we can help them to come out of the drugs. And even if they try to come out, because there are stages of trying to come out of the drugs, even if they try and then they relapse, let us still continue supporting them in a loving way. The other way is about our youngsters, our youth, our children. You know, most of the times, the young adults and the youth, the adolescents, they get into drugs because of the peer pressure, which was mentioned by Counsellor Lisa. So what can we do to these youngsters, to these children, to the adolescents who are even being introduced through the pressure, through the peer pressure groups, through their pressure, their peer friends? I think the best thing we can do is still to talk to them, especially at this time of the COVID-19, when they are idle, so that we can talk to them. We instill life skills which can help them not to remain idle, because the idleness brings about the drug use. And we also talk to them so that they, even if when they are within these peer groups, they can make proper decisions. It's not a must that if you are told, they are told to take a drug, try this one. You know, they are told, that is the language that is used. Just take a puff, Reverend Michael. You need to do anything. Just try this. And at times they are even told, if you are not going to try, come out of this group of ours. So we keep on telling them that they must make proper decisions in their life so that they can achieve what they need in this life. So all in all, we really need all of us to be very vigilant so that we can help in alleviating or reducing the drug abuse. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Shamilta. These are some of the mitigation tips that we need to embrace so that we can stop that rise of drug abuse in our society. Thank you very much. I know there are so many, and these are just some of the very significant that you have put in place for the viewer to digest. But now, Reverend JB, you realize that Councillor Lisa saying that some of the causes is that some of the drug abusers, they are transferring the wine and spirit shop to their family. Then right inside in the refrigerator, you go and find a variety of drugs that are stored there. Now, what can you tell to the viewer who has been hooked such kind of behavior?
Thank you, Reverend Michael. I want to say that some of the repercussions that we are seeing in the drug abuse, we are the cause. Some of them are caused by the parents who are supposed to be the role models, but they are not becoming role models. If you know, during this lockdown, bars are not open. So for those who take beer, they carry it at home, and they put somewhere where the children can access. So in absentia of the parents, the children will definitely go and taste. And this tasting is just introducing the youngsters to drinking. They will taste, continue tasting, and then they will go and taste in your absentia. So actually, one of the, like what Shelmed have just said, we must have a collective responsibility to fight the drugs. You should not go to take drugs in the presence of your children. Some of us, actually, some of the parents have a very bad habit. You go for an outing with your children. You buy children a juice or a soda, and then you take an alcohol or a blood that is of your taste. Actually, the children are envying you. Taking this, we are taking this. In your absentia again, they will definitely go to taste for that which you denied them. So some of the parents are indirectly introducing drug abuse or other alcohol to their children. If I tell you, Michael, I tasted the first beer because my father was taking beer. I tasted the first cigarette because my father was also taking a cigarette. In fact, when he left a cigarette there, he went to the bathroom. He had us coughing at the table room because we wanted to taste what is this daddy is taking. That is how actually we introduce cigarettes and the other drugs to our children.
Thank you, Reverend JB. Viewer, you realize that this is a collective responsibility. Everyone has come on board. You realize that if everyone wants to take his or her own responsibility, then it will be very easier to fight this rise of drug abuse in our families, in our society. And again, parents, be a role model. What kind of a parent you want to raise tomorrow? If you don't raise a child for better, then you realize that you lose the track. But now, I don't know whether you have a word, just a final statement that you want to say before we sum up.
Thank you very much, Reverend Michael. First of all, I want to echo what Reverend JB said about role model and parents. One time, I went to a hotel and I met my friend with the son, and I asked the son, what do you want to be when you grow up? He said, when I grow up, I want to take alcohol. So I asked him why. He said, my daddy says I cannot take it today. I'll do it when I grow up. I want to tell parents out there, you will blame the government and blame everyone else, but the ball lies in your court. Thank you.
Thank you, Riza, for that contribution. Guest, I want to appreciate you then for coming for this presentation. We are humbled. Viewer, we have to come to the end of our discussion. Today's discussion about drug and substance abuse. And these are some of the tips that we need to understand, the principal part of it, so that we'll be in a position to help our children, our young and old who have been hooked in the drug and substance abuse. But the bottom line, you need to, something that was mentioned by Saumith, that we need to love the drug users. You have to love them, to embrace them, and befriend them, and call them loving ones, so that you may be able to help them to come out of that scenario. We have to come to the end of this program, this topic, and we want to tell my viewer that we always come here on Saturday 8:30 in Counsellor's View with the various topics in our program. Again, I'm Reverend Michael, the host program, and also the vicar of Kiandangai Parish, Diocese of Kirinyaga. Thank you. Stay safe, wash your hands, and observe social distance. Bye.